Hello and welcome to the Cat Collective. I'm Nina, I'm the channel for this channel, and let's start. Blessing. Oh. Sage. Sage. Whatever. Energy. Good stuff. Smells intensely. Very cleansing, right? Comfrey. Completion. Weaver. This card is in every reading. There are so many cards in this deck. Why is this is always coming up? Yes, okay, beautiful, right? I want a different card. Yeah, I mean, it's like, for me, because I've seen this card so often, I just don't want to see it anymore. Because I feel that this is something that, because it's there all the time. But this might be a message that you might just be a bit, when you see you again. Could be person that you think of like that, it's like, oh, you again. Well, it's okay. Keep the message the way it wants to come out and convey it. Okay, this is another card that is usually coming up. Passion Flower, there we go. That's a bit of a card that I usually don't often see. So, okay, there we go. Very dreamy today. Dreamy. Blessing, completion. Passion Flower, surrender. Empathy. Balance. Bottom of the deck. Okay. Oh, well. So empathy and balance. I feel that there's a third one. I just pick one from the middle. Illuminate. Okay. Let's see those first. I'm a bit like, I think what you're doing is you're upping your game a bit, aren't you? Feels like it's like the same but different. A bit it could be, so this blessing and completion immediately reminded me of a blessing for work or for something that you've achieved or done that is complete. But what is complete actually? Completion just mostly means that you are stepping up at some point. Or that you have ended one phase and go to the next, right? And it's a lot of magical energy, and magical energy in form of the path goes forward. I think this card just wanted to come up because it feels to me that there is this completion point in the middle. And then there's, because you received a blessing, it feels like a ceremony or some sort of just, a resting point, and looking back and acknowledging what you have achieved, but then going further with it. So it's just a short completion point. And then you step up your game and it goes further. With the Passion Flower, it feels to me this is what you develop into. With this, she is very young and she looks older, but like the same person. And of course, a completion point means that you at some point were not as wise or developed as before you started some sort of work. It could be education, it could be anything, just something there where you learn things, right? It can be in whatever segment of life. And there she has got those two owls beside her, right? So that's very interesting. And also very trust, right? The trust of point of surrender, which I like a lot. It looks very it's a very developed and it's a developed phase, and I feel that this is a point of arrival still. So I said, yeah, that the completion phase is, or the completion is there, and it could be that it was a completion of your learning phase, and now you have arrived where you are meant to be, and now you can be nourished from the passion that you have for what you have achieved. And there's a lot of supporting energy. They look like spirits more than anything else, right? And such is a very cleansing energy. It could be that you are completing even a phase of healing or something like that. And your path continues forward with much more aligned than before, right? But also blessing is very nice. I feel that this is the most, it's achieving acknowledgement for what you've done, right? Continued, I feel that because of the conduit. Probably not pronouncing this correctly. Does it matter? No. Much more relaxed. I feel there's a lot of confidence that is in this reading compared to before. You know, when you are first learning, you are very insecure about everything you do because you don't know if you are doing it correctly. But when you are experienced, you know. And then you know what matters and what doesn't, right? And also this upgrade, it feels to me that you know, a learning phase is always a bit provisional. Is that? Yeah, so it's not yet finished. And when you are finished with learning, you can do the things the way you want to do it. You are not relying on correction, right? And this now looks like settling down somewhere this time. Before that, it looked more like a temporary thing. But that's interesting. Now I see why the cards are coming up that I've seen before, because they look different now. Even this card looks different. It's the same situation. It's the same life. It's you still, right? But everything feels more relaxed and more developed than before. Yeah, more balanced, I guess. And empathy. Empathy is nice. Illuminate. And time. So it could be that before you reached a phase of completion, you were not particularly in balance but regarding your time. It could be that your time was you had to spend more time adding, you know, like learning or anything like that, whereas now you can focus on the task just at hand. And I feel that there is a different perception of time on the table as well. Look at those moons, you know, they are all, and this is just one, right? But if you look at this, it could be that a decision phase is also over for you, where you were thinking about, maybe before that you were thinking about, yeah, what am I going to do with my time? And then you made a decision to go forward with something certain, because this looks like timelines. So every decision we make creates a new timeline, and the big decisions are often the ones that we are inclined to, well, it's just the bigger ones because they have bigger impact, so to say. It's choosing your profession, it's choosing your partner, it's choosing where you live, it's, when you want to, how you live. And if you are completing a phase, maybe even of decision, and then time becomes the decision making phase, or the thought process of making a decision takes up a lot of time, the pros and cons and everything, and what to do. And when you finish something and your where you are, this frees up your time, and then you can experience something more, and it's illuminating. The moon shines brighter on this card than on those possibilities, I want to say. This is, just forget the word balance. It's for me, those are possibilities, outcomes, just options, right? And when you just choose a path and you go forward with it, this path becomes illuminated, because you will discover the depth of something more than anything else, more than just briefly touching a subject, right? It's more depth, and it takes more. It takes up all your space, whereas before that you were just picking, just maybe experimenting and all of that. The empathy, though. The empathy card feels a little bit out of place, which is strange, because empathy is always good to have, isn't it? If you were ignorant, it would be a harder life, I guess. But sometimes empathy can also be a burden. I feel that this path that you are choosing, or maybe you are just about to choose something, maybe you're not sure what to choose because you just don't know, maybe you're overwhelmed by options, right? And it feels to me that the empathy card is the card that wants to be played more than anything else, because I feel that this is your strength. And it could be that in your previous path was a little bit burdened because you were too empathic. When you are too empathic, you might hold yourself back to help others, or to accommodate them, or to, just to not rock the boat again. Rocking the boat is a thing, I guess. So I feel that this is your strength, and by acknowledging this, you reach a completion phase, because you complete the decision-making phase, if you are not already in a completion phase of some sort of learning phase, right? So maybe you are just in front of it, and considering, and you might not really see that empathy is something not everybody has, unless you witness someone who is totally ignorant. There are people out there who are so ignorant they don't have empathy. It's like they don't listen, and they put their own words into your mouth. They just listen to what they want to hear, right? Those people exist, but you are not one of those, I feel. It could be that you were a little bit weakened in your decision making, or in your overall who you are by your empathy, because it could be that you are also trying to make a decision with empathy towards others, what others might want from you, what others might want to see from you, or what you know, because you are so empathic, you can almost you can feel how others might react to what your decision is. But this is just about you, and therefore you are doing it. You are doing and completing the phase of that, and then you are heading towards what's meant for you. A little bit with less empathy. It could be, that could be something that you are learning, that you have completed the phase of learning how to use your empathy. You know, sometimes when we are so empathic that we feel other people's emotions even, right? That's uncomfortable. And it could be that you are completing this, and then it becomes illuminated for you, and you are accepting this. Maybe you need to accept something about you as well, that you are by accepting it, it becomes illuminated, and you know what to do with it. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's just a confirmation and the bridge, and very interesting that everything is upside down. Because this is super. It's, for me, is a bit from the other side, something you can't really see when it's upside down somehow, you know. And I feel that this might, it's literally showing your empathy, that it could have freaked you out a bit, right? Where you were a bit, or it could be, you know, the general stress of learning or not knowing, you know, and being insecure. And then the confusion of making a decision versus finally choosing a path that is still not totally, this one was right, wasn't it? Yeah, was it? Yeah, so choosing a path that is maybe not linear, but knowing that this is normal. Or maybe I feel that you are seeing into, you're looking back at everything you've experienced that might have felt in the beginning like that a little bit, or a bit confusing like this, you know, those are feelings somehow, right? And then realizing that everything led you to an illuminated path, right? Yeah, so a very completed phase, but also I want to say upgraded, because when you know what you want to do, it's when you're testing things, you know, it's a bit like learning an instrument. Also, when you first learn an instrument, you maybe don't know which one you want to learn. Actually, maybe you will just know generally which instrument you want. But even there are options, right? And then you start learning, and first you have to make the decision which instrument. And then when you have to make the decision, after a while, you know, you don't get yourself the most expensive one, right? You just get yourself something that is okay. And then you play with it, you learn the basics, but then afterwards you develop into a bit more specific playing, right? And then you know what to use, what exactly you want, and then you upgrade yourself and you buy something that is clearly an upgrade. And you wouldn't do that if you were just finding out about things, right? You wouldn't get yourself a very expensive instrument if you were not certain that you are going to continue with it, right? It could be also something like, with YouTube, you know, that you, or general, maybe photography, where you are maybe just testing if you want to do something like that, or if you like that, even if it's just a hobby, right? And you learn a little bit, but then you go into the specs and you find you know what you want now, and you know in which direction you go, because there's so much underneath the sky, so many options within one field of learning even, right? And then you get yourself camera equipment, maybe a studio, something like that, where you are certain that you want to do that. It could be the same with so many other things, but those are just examples. I think you will know what I'm talking about when you see the message. It's just, yes, I'm describing this process, but I feel that there's something underneath that wants to be spoken about that should help you along the way. I feel that it could be that you are at the phase of completion now. So when you are at the phase of some sort of completion and you are considering whether you should go forward to into depth, and whether you should proceed, or maybe you're just a bit insecure about that because your decision phase took a long time, right? It's a commitment, right? And this commitment, I feel that needs to be talked about. That's the commitment that wanted to be seen, and with just not just to be seen, but it could be that you are not, and that you're just hesitant. Expansive. May you connect to the whole. Okay. Oh, and compassion. May you tend to the suffering. Ah, there's something here. With this expansion, there's healing involved as well. Because I feel that a phase of indecision and non-commitment is a commitment as well, to not be decisive. And when you are doing that to yourself, you are suffering tremendously, because you are holding yourself back from expanding, and you are considering 1,000 options. Maybe you are aware of all the options underneath the sky, but if you don't commit to one, then you will never commit to anything, and this causes you suffering, and it's not expansive, right? It's not leading you anywhere. You only will look at surface things. And with compassion, this looks so beautiful, doesn't it? But this is just a surface, right? And this is a beautiful day, right? Nice weather, everything's nice. But the landscape can change when the weather is not as nice. And I feel that looking at options is like that. You look at the nice things of it, but you want to go through every phase with compassion, right? You want to consider everything, and you want to get to know everything. Maybe you don't know that you want it. Maybe that's something that is holding you back. Maybe that's the thing that makes you question it, because you are not. It's not everything as nice as just looking at the surface of things. It's like looking at something and then saying, "Oh, it's not beautiful because it has that. It's not beautiful anymore. I walk away." Whereas there are nice days ahead again, and it's everywhere like that. Yeah. So that's where you connect to the whole. So that's where you connect to every experience that you can have with it. It's with everything. Everything you do, whether you choose to make a living from the things you like to do the most, this might cause you to be tired of doing it at times, maybe. But if you don't do it, it might cause you to yearn for it and might cause you to think, oh, what if I would have done it? What if I would have done it with all I have, with everything I can do, right? It's like investing in yourself. It's when you don't allow yourself to expand within the field of what you want to do, because you think, oh, it's temporary just anyways. Whereas if you would commit to it, then you could get yourself or buy yourself or build yourself shelter from the weather and discover the beautiful side of a rainy day. Right? But if you treat everything just with no commitment, then you will never be stable within anything. It doesn't lead to expansion. It's just exploration without expansion, and you wanna go into depth now and do everything with it. So if there's a question in the room of, okay, completion phase, does this completion mean walking away or going further or deeper? It means going deeper this time. It could not just, it could be with many things, but this time it means do not walk away, go further, go deeper, expand, allow yourself to do so. Because if you allow yourself to go further and deeper and commit to it, as if you have no other option, then you will be, your path or what you are doing will show you something, another layer to it that you wouldn't have discovered if you would have treated it as something that is not a stable thing that you want to do for the rest of your life. Sometimes we need this commitment, and this doesn't mean that in 10 years you might think, oh, I don't want to do this anymore somehow, I just want to do something else. But the main thing about it is that you need the commitment of possibly wanting to do it for the rest of your life, to do it, to experience a depth of any subject that you would not if you were treating it as, oh yeah, maybe I'll just do this for a while. It's just, you need to take this seriously. And then you discover that it will expand. And it's like this abstract knowing of things will go further, and it will become more crisp and clear and more lit up with light and everything. So I feel this is good news for you. It could be that you were thinking about it and not knowing why you were suffering and something. I feel that this is an important message for someone out there, that this was an issue somehow. Okay, let's see. You and your loved ones are safe. Okay, and time to give rather than take again. Okay. New moon in Cancer. Yeah, new moon, yeah. So, because I'm not drawn to the Cancer, I'm not drawn to the you and your loved ones are safe. Maybe you are questioning something about it. Maybe it has something to do with safety, that you don't want to commit to something because you feel that it might be taken away from you. It could be that you will feel that you need to go somewhere else, or that you can't settle down somewhere and make it yourself comfortable somewhere, right? It's it's the fear of having to go away again. Where does it stem from? It feels to me it leads you to maybe again parental upbringing type of situation, a pattern that has been played out in your life so far. And it could be that you were moving a lot or something like that, and you don't want to, and because you were in the past forced to move, or it was always a threat for you, that you don't feel safe, and that's why you don't want to commit to something. Whereas now the times are different, and the guidance is do it, just commit to it, and dig deep into everything you want to do. Don't let any thoughts like that lead you astray and lead you back to what am I going to do? You already know what you want to do. It's just that you don't commit to it because you don't you feel that you are not safe or that you need to walk away, right? And then give rather than take. It feels to me that what you want to do feels like taking to you, because taking is it feels a bit selfish, right, when you take, but see it more like this: the situation or what you want to do is you need to give yourself into it, right? You're not taking anything, because by giving yourself into it, you're achieving much more, and you're actually giving. I hope that's helpful. I think that it makes sense in my head, at least. So let's see who this reading is for. I want to wrap it up with another card. What am I doing? We're already over 30 minutes. Okay, let's pull another one of those. Shine. May you be a lighthouse. Yeah, okay, so now the reading is complete. So let's see who this reading is for. Cancer, duh. Yeah, well, additional info is in the letter box below, and see you next time. Bye.